The Metro East Sports Podcast is proudly presented by Little Caesars Pizza, locally owned by lifelong 618 residents who are proud to serve our community. Home of the hot and ready pizza and 12-time world champions of value, Little Caesars makes game night, practice night, and family night easy. Visit them in Alton, Glen Carbon, Troy, Collinsville, Shiloh, or Granite City today.
Get ready for the award-winning #1 sports podcast on our side of the river. It's time for the Metro East Sports Podcast.
From the front office Well Strategies studio in beautiful, warm Edwardsville, welcome to the Metro East Sports Podcast, talking all things sports in the Metro East, season number 7, show number 8, recorded Monday, March 23rd, 2026. I am David Leip, alongside a couple of my friends. Good to see you, Jack Grimm.
Good to see you, too.
Good to see you, Matt Kamp.
Good to see you as well.
Tonight's show begins with the high school report, and we are going to talk about the Gallatin Awards last night. We are going to talk about our up-to-date boys volleyball rankings with Jack. Camper's going to talk softball rankings, and we are going to spend a little bit of time on soccer, tennis, and a little bit of baseball. If you want to hear deep dive on baseball, listen to the show last week with Diego Solares of Scout Connect. And after the high school update, the high school roundup, we've got our MESPY winner for small school male basketball player of the year, Isaiah Locks, and he's coming in with his dad, the famous basketball coach from the Locks family, Ty Locks. And also he will be joined by Jeremiah Graham and Lucas Dillon of the Staunton Bulldog basketball team, hot on the heels of their incredible season, Camper?
Yeah, and that's a team that's going to be even good, maybe better next year.
Yes.
They're all back.
Yep, all those kids are back. So watch out for Staunton next year. Okay, and then following the Locks family basketball folks, we are going to meet with Zach Bilyeu is going to be back. He is the head lacrosse coach at Edwardsville High School, and he is bringing with him a player of some repute, Eli Lewis, from my 5th hour class. So how about that?
He should have some stories about that 5th hour class.
He will.
Is it a sports and lit class or American
It
lit?
is sports and lit. I had Eli last year for American lit, and Eli is the first male player from the program to go on and play collegiately. Miss Sophia here, our marketing person. Can we get a shot of Sophia? I asked you to get a shot of Sophia. Come on. Put that camera on her for just a second, just so we can. There she is. She's going to be playing at Quincy University, but Eli is also. Do you know where Eli's going to play?
I do not.
He
off
told
the top
me.
of my head.
Do you know? I don't know off the top of my head. We're going to find out when Eli's here. Okay. Before we get to these guests, I want to thank partners Cassins, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Keller Williams Marquis, the Blasting Game Group, Integrity Spine and Joint Center, Front Office, Fiduciary Network, Oakbrook Golf Club, Play It Again Sports, Edwardsville, and Dazzling Decor and more. And don't forget Viviano Heating and Air Conditioning. And before we start, 3 things you can do to help us. Number 1, subscribe to this podcast. It's free and you love it. Number 2, follow us in all of our social media platforms, X, Facebook, the Gram, and, of course, on YouTube. And if you have a story idea, email me at mespdave@gmail.com. And don't forget, you can nominate your favorite team for Integrity Spine and Joint Center Metro East Team of the Month. Could be a park and rec team, a middle school team, a high school team, you name it. To nominate a team for Team of the Month, send your suggestion to mespdave@gmail.com. Please put Team of the Month in the suggestion, in the subject line. What's going on over there? Playing music? I'm just kidding.
Ready for Gallatin Award discussion, and phone decided I wanted to play the ad.
All right, let's talk main content now for our high school roundup, and we want to start with, of course, the Gallatin Awards from last night.
Yes, so Sunday night at Julia's Banquet Center in East Alton, the 79th Gallatin Player of the Year Awards, and the top awards went to Samaj Stampley and Kaylee Lacey, both of Alton, for Boys and Girls Player of the Years, and both very well deserving of those 2 awards, 2 tremendous players.
And this was the 79th annual, as you said. This is older than the NBA, And kudos to Bill Roseberry and Joe Silkwood and all the other folks on that committee. We had JR last weekend and Bill. We talked about the show, and those guys put their heart and soul in it. And it's fun to see it come together because I know how much it means to them and all the kids that were there also.
Yeah, the kids get a free meal out of it and a chance to celebrate some historic seasons over there.
Yeah.
And they had some other big awards. Roxana's Keelan Crawford and CM's Isabel Edwards were 110% recipients. Stampley and Roxana's Daisy Daughtry were the free throw winners, and the boys and girls sportsmanship trophies were swept by the Marquette Explorers.
They must have excellent sportsmanship. So good for the Explorers for winning those awards. And any other comments on the Harry Gallatin Awards last night?
I think it's just great. It's, like you said, older than the NBA, a chance to really recognize all the kids, the student athletes in the Riverbend area. I really wish that was something we could do here, but it's kind of hard when you just have the one big, 4A high school and then a couple 1A schools around you.
It's tough. If you're going to start recognizing teams, where do you create boundaries? And they've got a good thing going. They like what they've got going. They don't talk about or think about expanding it. They like where it is. And Brandon Hogg was the MC, and he did, not the MC, but the keynote speaker, and he did a great job. And cool event. Okay, let's talk about volleyball. You ready?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, let's just get right into it and start with the rankings.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read them from the bottom up, and then I want you to talk about them, okay?
Sure.
That sound good? Okay, coming in at number 11, Father McGivney. At number 10, Freeburg. 9, Collinsville. 8, Alton. 7, Granite City. 6, Belleville West. Number 5, Maryville Christian. Tied for 3rd, Belleville East and Edwardsville. 2nd, Althoff, and number 1, O'Fallon. And a few things jump out at me right away, but what do you want to say about the rankings? And you've got a really good mention your panel of voters here. You've got a very nice panel of.
Yeah. Do you want me to mention them by name?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I would say one of my biggest sources of just great information is Tony Miner, former, actually Edwardsville alum, coached at Althoff for both the boys and the girls. He brought in so much knowledge to not only just help with the rankings as they are, but then to help me kind of with my blind spots in this as well. It's hard to keep track of everything, but how connected he is within the boys club scene for Blue Steel just gives him so much visibility of all the athletes and kind of knowing how these teams are going to be going into the high school season. I would say that Melissa is in the same exact boat with that. She just sees these kids so much more than myself.
She's the volleyball queen in the 618 as far as I'm concerned. In terms of like having the most contact with the most kids.
Yeah.
And having what she's got going on with that number of teams and coaches. So
absolutely.
Founding member of Blue Steel.
Yep.
Okay. Keep going.
And then I got Scott Smith. He's an assistant for Edwardsville High School. Again, just a good resource, especially from the big school perspective. I would say Tony and Melissa don't actively coach teams. So I was kind of the small school perspective. I was like, I probably need some sort of big school mindset as well, someone who's going to at least see all of the big schools this year when they play. So I figured he would be a good resource for that. And then Michael Boley is actually a West Coast help. He's a good friend of mine who I know out in Manhattan Beach. He follows a lot of volleyball, and I asked him to watch our area very closely.
So this dude's in California.
This dude is in Los Angeles, yes.
And he's voting on Metro East volleyball.
Yeah, so I'm on the AVCA poll for national rankings. So we create the national ranking list, and he's on that group as well. So I'm helping him do some local rankings over there, and he's helping me do some local rankings over here.
How cool is that?
All right. We're global.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have him on the show sometime.
If you can fly him out here, I'm sure he'd love to come.
No, I mean, we can join remotely.
Oh, I guess that's true.
That would be our budget for the entire year.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you want to say about these rankings? The one thing that jumps out to me is that you've got a couple of very small schools, Maryville Christian in the top 5. Those are your kids.
They are.
I mean, not pulling any punches here. And then a lot of Southwestern Conference, but Althoff also another small school. So 2 of your top 5 teams are what I would call small school private schools.
Yes. This is a huge year for private schools and boys volleyball. And I will speak more on Althoff because I'm actually really excited about this Althoff team. I think as far as talent goes, they go pound for pound with O'Fallon. They have a huge roster as far as height goes. Jonathan Darnell and Kyle Johnson should both be ready to play their absolute hearts out their senior year here. But then they have some good supporting cast roles. Kids like Michael Peterson, Rhett Neville is becoming a great setter. Michael Roche has become a great outside hitter. All these players that they've needed to develop into impact players have really gotten better in the club scene over the last couple of years, and I think they're going to be huge players for this team. They also have Nate Sorgea as well. He's an opposite for them, going to be an absolute killer. I think that, if this team can find out how to keep the ball controlled and find ways to score efficiently on offense, I could see them challenging and playing point for point with O'Fallon, especially if they play as an underdog and O'Fallon's not ready for them.
And when do games begin?
This week, tomorrow, I think, is when everybody's starting up.
Okay, nobody's played yet.
Nobody's played yet. There might be some matches tonight. I haven't looked at the schedule, but most of the relevant stuff starts tomorrow.
And just to remind everybody, there's only one class and one size for boys volleyball.
Yep.
So that'll change soon.
Hopefully, they need 300 teams, and I think we're at like 270. We've been stuck at 270 for a while. Okay. But schools like Freeburg, who did make the list, they joined the IHSA this year, so they help with that.
Fun. Good. All right, cool. And who do you play this week? Who does Maryville Christian play this week?
We play Father McGivney. We start conference right out of the gate on Thursday, and we're excited. Our team we lost a lot of seniors, as did like Edwardsville and East as well, but we've had unbelievably positive practices. Our ball control and passing is going to be unreal. So we like our matchups this week.
Okay, cool. Anything else volleyball-wise? Jack Grimm, our volleyball expert.
I don't think so. I think, I would love to see how this first week goes, and then I'm excited to sit down and talk about everything that happened and see how good our preseason rankings were.
Okay, updated rankings every other week on the
yes.
Keep volleyball, folks. Keep paying attention to the Metro Esports podcast, the High School Roundup. We will update you as the year goes by. Week number 1, boys rankings in the bank, and we'll keep an eye on things. Thanks a lot, Jack.
Yep.
All right, Camper, let's talk softball. Should I go through your list?
Go for it.
Okay. Number 10, let's start with the large school rankings. Large school rankings, number 10, Belleville West. Number 9, Triad. Number 8, Civic Memorial. 7, Jersey. 6, Centralia. 5, O'Fallon. 4, Belleville East. 3, Edwardsville. Number 2, Mascoutah. And number 1, Waterloo. The thing that I notice, of course, is 2 not Southwestern Conference teams ranked number 1 and 2. 2 MVC teams ranked number 1 and number 2, and then you get the Southwestern Conference teams, Edwardsville, East, and O'Fallon, boom, boom, boom. And then Centralia, Jersey, CM, Triad, West, kind of rounding things out there. I mean, it's early, but they've played more than anybody else.
Yeah, and the big thing with Mascoutah is at number 2, they beat Edwardsville head-to-head. So hard to put EHS ahead of a team you lose to right now. Of course, that can change as this season goes on. Waterloo's bringing a lot back. They're already off to a quick start, 5-0, some wins over DeKalb and Naperville Central. And those are some quality wins out of the area.
And Mascoutah not only beat Edwardsville, but like you have in your notes, they also beat Belleville East.
Yes, so ahead of the 3 and 4 Southwestern Conference teams there. And Edwardsville is ahead of Belleville East right now just based off of what happened last season. The 2 were co-champs of the Southwestern Conference, but Edwardsville gets them in the postseason. Both teams lost their aces, so be interesting to see how both of those teams move on this year. And
in softball, I feel like the entire area is so deep. You have small teams like Redbud and Calhoun, and they're all good at softball, I feel like. Are there small school rankings on this sheet?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you read those starting at the bottom?
All right.
Oh, I found them. You want me to do it?
Go for it.
Okay, number 10, Roxana. Number 9, Calhoun. Number 8, Carrollton. 7, Staunton. 6, Lincolnwood. Where's that?
Up by Carlinville.
Okay. 6, Lincolnwood. 5, Southwestern. 4, Carlinville. Number 3, Gillespie. Number 2, Redbud. Number 1, Columbia.
So a lot of a collection of teams right now, and this, I think, is going to be a lot more volatile than the large school rankings. You're going to have teams moving in and out. The one that stands out to me is Carrollton. They're your defending Class 1A state champs, but they lost everybody. Their coach was also gone, but was asked to come back when they couldn't.
Because nobody would take the job.
Someone. Yeah. So there'll be an interesting watch. Same with Calhoun, another really good 1A team. But Columbia, Redbud, they're, I think, the 2 of the best small schools in the area. Gillespie and Edwardsville played tonight. Edwardsville won that game 5-0, but was closer than the scoreline. Edwardsville broke it open late. It was 2-0 through the first 5 innings.
Will be fun. Will be fun to watch these teams because there is so much parity in softball in the area. So especially like you said with small schools, sort of reminds me of what we saw with basketball too.
Yeah,
there's in the larger schools you've got fewer teams, and it just felt a little bit more stable in football and basketball this year. And then with the small schools, you just never know what's going to happen.
And it comes down to pitching and defense in the small schools. If you have a pitcher that can sit there and retire everybody and strike them all out, they're going to be usually tough to beat. Then you get those teams like a Calhoun of the past, where they'll have that ballman who is really good but may not have the defense backing her up. So if you can have both pitching and defense at the small school level, you're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, to me, it's all about slappers. I just like saying slappers. I have a bunch of slappers. Okay. Anything else about softball?
It's just going to be a fun season to watch. They're in their 3rd week already, which is kind of crazy.
We'll update that. We'll update these softball rankings every other week. We plan to go baseball, softball for the remainder of the spring. So thank you for your rankings, courtesy of the Intelligencer. And shout out to, of course, the great Greg Shawshak, who helped out with these as well, right?
Yes, he was huge on the small school side. He sees a lot of those teams he'll go up and cover the Carrolltons and Calhouns and is able to kind of get a good look at everybody.
All right. Appreciate your work on that, Shaq. Okay. Let's talk a little bit of soccer. We had a big game last week. Triad and Edwardsville played to a scoreless tie. I was at that game. I covered that game. Were you at that game?
I was not. Wanted to be there, but had something else going on. But those are two of the best large schools in the area, along with O'Fallon.
Triad had a brilliant chance early in the game, went over the crossbar, and then in the second half, one person who's knowledgeable felt like Triad backed their kids way up and played a lot of defense. I don't know if that's true, but I know that Edwardsville kept play on the Triad side of the field for 90%, 80% of the second half, had multiple corner kicks, and Triad didn't have any. So Triad's very good, and they're going to be there at the end. Those are two of the elite teams. Obviously, O'Fallon is always very good. Columbia is Columbia. They're going to be awesome this year, defending state champs. So they'll be tough to beat. And then
Father McGivney girls are going to be another load. And on Friday, Columbia visits Father McGivney. So that's going to be an early showdown. It's going to be a repeat of last year's sectional championship game at Althoff that Columbia was able to win 1-0. So that should be a telling game for both teams to see where they're going.
For sure. Anything else about girls soccer? And we'll have some girls soccer rankings pretty soon, but we wanted a few more games to be played before we went with rankings for girls soccer this spring.
Yeah, still early. A couple teams just got done with the Metro the Soccer Cup that they were playing. Since the first couple of days were canceled due to cold and bad weather, so they got a little bit of a late start.
And Edwardsville has a different look this year. New coach, Coach Bernay, women's coach at Lewis and Clark Community College, has taken on the job of also coaching the girls at EHS. So it'll be interesting to watch and see how the program responds to his tutelage.
Yes, and he's got a lot of talent back with him, including Gabby Thompson up top. She should be probably one of the top scorers in the area this year.
And she is a commit to Kansas, to KU, and unbelievable flag football player too.
Yes.
Hit probably the greatest high school punt I've ever seen. Did you see that first game?
Yes. Yeah. I don't think anyone was ready for that.
She crushed that ball, a perfect spiral. I'm telling you, I think it was 50 yards in the air. I've never seen anything like it. It was amazing.
That's cool.
Okay. Any tennis talk? We had the Triad Invitational this last weekend, and most of the local teams were in it. Did you covered that?
Had a chance to watch your team over at Edwardsville. They played Lincoln Way Central and looked good, top to bottom in the lineup. You had a little bit different that first match, with Shaper and Isaac playing singles. So that was I like seeing just what those two could do. And then I think that helped the freshman Jake Brinker kind of step into that varsity action and doubles a little bit easier. But then he rolled in his two singles matches after that against Quincy and Dunlap. So It's always nice, I'm sure, when you can add a freshman like that to a varsity lineup.
And as his coach, I wasn't sure what I was going to get, but he was awesome. Great wins. He went undefeated, and the team went undefeated all weekend, going 15-0. And our second varsity, our second 8 kids, so to speak, they won the third flight, and went undefeated this weekend, also beating a good 1A team in Carbondale, 3-2 in the final. And in the second flight, it was Morton over O'Fallon. So congratulations to O'Fallon on reaching the final there. Triad got 5th place in the top flight, and kudos to them for putting on a great event and accommodating so many teams. Jack Carmody does a great job with that tournament, and Triad is strong. O'Fallon is strong, so it'll be a fun year this year tennis wise. East and West and Alton have some strong players as well, and Collinsville has Carter Marlin, who's an outstanding player, one of the best in the area. So it's gonna be a fun year for sure.
And such a great event, like you said, for Triad to put that on, and for everybody that stepped up to also host. A great way to showcase tennis in the Metro East early on.
Yep. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for coming by. That's the high school roundup for this week. We'll hit baseball. Anything you want to say about baseball this week?
A lot of baseball went on over the weekend with the Metro East Classic that's put on by Prep Baseball Report, and I know Edwardsville coach Jim Funkhauser does a lot with it. Tigers went 1-2 against some of the state's top competition.
They lost to OPRF, and they also lost to New Trier.
Yes.
Oak Park River Forest, in case you don't know.
So, but a lot of teams got going, and so, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of baseball talk coming up. Diego does a great job with that. And like you said, if you want to hear more about baseball, check out last week's podcast.
Okay. Matt Kamp, courtesy of the Intelligencer. Thanks so much for coming by. Jack Grimm, courtesy of Blue Steel Volleyball Club and Maryville Christian Academy and Illinois Water.
Yeah, sure.
Illinois Water. Thanks so much for coming by, guys.
Thank you.